Hi everyone, it's Lori again from Bridges Consulting. I am here today just checking in again, hoping everybody's staying safe and keeping well, and letting you know that we're all thinking of you and hoping that all the families are doing okay. I know this has been a stressful time. It's been hard in my house. I have 3 teenage boys and they're all at various stages of understanding what's going on, but they kind of have good days and bad days. Days they worry about things. They worry about their friends and when they'll get to see them again. Sometimes they worry about just if our family's going to be healthy. And so we've been talking a lot about anxiety and really kind of how they can cope with that. And it doesn't help that I have days when I'm worried. So one of the things I've been talking to my kids about are just things we are in control of and things that we're not in control of, and also things that are kid problems and things that are mom and dad problems to talk about. So what are the things that they can control and what can they do about those things? So maybe it's connecting, maybe they're worried about their friends, and so things we can do are connecting to your friends online, calling our friends, texting our friends, writing letters to our friends. If you're younger, maybe drawing a picture and mailing it to a friend. But and then there's things that are my job to worry about. So we don't have to worry about if we have enough food, because that's mom and dad's job to worry about. So they don't need to worry about that, or they don't need to worry about if there's mom and dad might lose their jobs, because that's mom and dad's job to worry about, not their job to worry about. But it sort of reminded me of a book that we had in the office that I thought I'd share with everybody today. And the book is called When My Worries Get Too Big. And so this book has some really great ideas about how to sort of make anxiety a way that we can talk about it and explain it to kids. It gives us a way to sort of give kids a way to communicate about their anxiety without maybe always understanding or having all the words to describe what's going on. So I thought I would read this book today, and then we can kind of end with me sharing some of the strategies that you might want to try at home. So this book is by Kari Dunn Buron, and it's, like I said, it's a great little book about how to manage our anxiety. So when your worries get too big, here's a little guy, and he says, sometimes kids have worries, but they also have things that they are really good at. And then it says, I know the names of all the kids in my class. And then it has a space here where you can draw what you're really good at and them doing that. So that would be a great opportunity for kids to take some time to do that for themselves. It says, when I am thinking about my favorite things, I'm relaxed. My worries are at a 1 or a 2. So it looks like he likes flags and he's thinking about them, and that makes him feel calm. So what kind of things do we think about that make us feel calm? When I know what is going to happen, I really like what I'm doing, and I'm almost definitely at a 1 or a 2. I know what's happening. And there he's got a to-do list. Sometimes I worry too much, like when I first get on the bus and I don't know where to sit. That makes him feel stressed out. He's like, I don't know where I'm sitting. When I worry too much, my worries are at a 4. Sometimes a 4 makes my stomach hurt. Sometimes I worry way too much, like when I think I'm going to recess and it gets canceled. No recess today, yikes. And sometimes when we're worried, we get feeling like our tummy hurts, or we might just sometimes feel like we want to punch something. We all have different feelings when we feel anxious. We all have different ways we react. This might make me scream or even hit someone. This is a 5. Now my worries are way too big. One thing that makes my worries too big is, and then there's a place to write and a place to draw. So at home we can draw a picture of something that makes us feel really worried. This is when I need to fight back. First, I can squeeze my hands together. So sometimes we do that when we feel really anxious. We could squeeze our hands together and it might make us feel better. Next, I can take 3 really slow, deep breaths. Slow in, slow out, slow in, slow out, slow in, slow out. So we don't breathe like this. We breathe in, out, nice and slow. Then I can sit down and rub my legs and close my eyes. And now I feel more like a 3 or a 2. I can think about happy things like my dog or my stuffed lion or our family cabin in the summer. And now I'm at a 1. Right now, let's practice thinking about something that makes us feel like a 1. Oh, I'm going to think about my summer vacation last summer when I went to Disneyland. That makes me feel like I'm at a 1. Here are some things that I can think about to help me bring a 5 feeling down to a 1. And then there's a place to draw them. You can do other things to help you relax. You can go for a walk. You can go to your bedroom or go to a safe place if you're at school. We don't have to go to school right now. We're doing school at home. I like to draw or write in my journal. Here I am, relaxed and ready to work. I'm at a 1, feeling good and feeling proud. I'm awesome. Let me tell you about my worries. How do they look and what do they feel like? And there's stuff at a 1, at a 2, at a 3, at a 4, and at a 5. The end. So I want to, the nice thing about drawing pictures is that it can be used as a visual prompt for lots of our kiddos. So if you have a picture of something, they get a chance to draw a picture of something that makes them feel calm, or maybe they describe a place that you go and you have a picture like that in a photo album. You could take it out and put it up, and that could be a kind of prompt to help them, remind them when they're feeling really anxious, they can look at that picture and think about that time. It's also really good to practice at home when you get a chance. All those things like how to deep breathe when the kids are nice and calm. So how to take those slow breaths in and slow breaths out. Talking about the kinds of things that maybe sensory-wise make them feel calm, like that hand squeezing, or maybe there's something weighted at home that makes them feel calm, or maybe it's the feel of like a soft blanket that they love, or a special teddy. Whatever that is, if it's a teenager, maybe it's something, that like their music that makes them feel calm. And so when they're starting to feel really overwhelmed and anxious, then they can go to that. And just a reminder that anxious looks different in lots of kids. And so we see some kids that anxious very much looks like what we think worried looks like, right? They've kind of got the furrowed brow. They're kind of sullen a little bit. You can tell they're really lost in lots of thoughts. They're kind of overly excited about some stuff, and that seems to be disconnected. And then for some of our kids, anxiety looks a lot like easy frustration, low frustration tolerance, snapping at people, and people sometimes don't think that's anxiety, but it very much can be. So just to remember that, talking to kids about where they're at on that scale of 1 to 5. Sometimes we use the zones, so the colors like red being angry, yellow kind of escalating, blue is sort of that over the top worried, and green is calm. Whatever scale you use at home to talk about these feelings, just checking in, because sometimes it's hard to say I'm feeling really anxious and I don't know, here's what's making me feel anxious. When language is really tough for you, or describing those things is really hard. So being able to say I'm at a 1 today or I'm at a 3 is a lot easier. And then we can help sort of coach children through, whatever strategies we've established, right? So checking in, you could put a visual, like a line on a board or a piece of Velcro with numbers, sticky notes that have 1 through 5, and the kids can take them off and put, this is how I feel right now. Whatever you have at home that you can use to have them help identify kind of where they're at right now. And recognizing that some of the things they're going to be worried about might seem kind of small in the scheme of things. I know my 14-year-old or my 16-year-old right now is really worried about whether we're going to get a summer vacation. And then I think about in the world of things to be worried about, sometimes I'm like, summer vacation, that's your big worry. But the reality is that's something that's really important to him. And so I need to kind of validate that that's an important worry for him right now. And I don't have the answer about what summer vacation will look like, but I know that that's important, and we'll keep talking about it, and we'll figure out a way to do something together, whatever that is, right? So, I know in my things I worry about every day that right now summer vacation seems small, but I want to sort of help him understand that I care, that that's a worry for him too. And I think for him, that's sort of a symbol that life is normal. because that's what we do in the summer. And so he just wants that feeling that life is back to normal, right? So I hope that some of these things I've talked about today might help with addressing any anxiety that your family's feeling or your kids are feeling. And just know that we all know there's lots of worries going on right now. And if Bridges can help you with something, please connect to us. We want to do what we can to support your families right now. And we're all just doing the best we can to get through this together. So stay safe, everyone, and I'll connect soon. Bye-bye.